Hello everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Farida. It's been a while since I uploaded a video on here. It's good to be back. I hope you missed me. If you're new here, welcome to my channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. In today's video, I'm talking about the pros and cons of living in London. I've lived in London for more than a year now, so I feel like this is the best time to talk about the pros and cons of living in London. Currently, I don't live in London, but I commute to London from Essex, so I basically spend most of my day in London because I work in London and my uni is also in London, and I'll be going to uni for the first time in person on Monday, so we'll see what that looks like. But for now, I'll just be talking about the pros and cons of living in London based on my own experiences. If you've also lived in London, if you currently live in London, if you've lived in London in the past, don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section. London is the largest city in the UK, and with every large city obviously comes pros and cons, so it's not surprising that even though London is a very nice city to live in, there's still so many pros and cons of living in London. The first pro that I'll be talking about is the wide cultural experience and the opportunity to interact with people from different cultural backgrounds, as well as the opportunity to make lifelong friends. This is something that is very unique to London, and it's something that makes many people want to obviously come to live in London. The second pro is that living in a large city can be a huge life investment with the opportunity to gain world-class education, work and make money. London is a city that never sleeps. If this is what you're looking for in a city, London is the best place for you to come to. However, a con of living in London is that London is a very expensive city, and I believe that comes to every large city. Even though London is very expensive, even though tuition costs and living costs can be really expensive, it is something that is still very manageable. So that is a con of living in London, but it's a con that is obviously manageable if you manage your budgets very well. The third pro of living in London is the level of infrastructural development. Transport in London is very amazing, and you can easily jump from one train to bus to another train to get to your destination. It is very easy to travel in London. Obviously, this is a developed country, and transport in London especially is very amazing. Sometimes it can be difficult, but mostly it is very easy to travel from one place to another in London. Even though transport in London can be amazing, it can also be like the worst thing ever, and something you may not also want to experience. A con is that trains in London can be congested, and if you're traveling during peak hours and you're back to back with another person coming back from work, you can smell the sweat and everything, and you're just like you just like, what is this? You literally just want to get off the train. The smell because of everything, because you like back to back on that person and that stranger that you do not know. Traveling during these times are even more expensive, and it makes me wonder why we pay so much money to travel during these times when you don't even get a seat to sit on, literally back to back with that person that you do not know. But then I guess it's because it's more expensive to manage the trains when more people travel at the same time, so I guess that makes sense. Hello Munchkin. The fourth pro of living in London is that healthcare is amazing, and you can easily register with a local GP called general practitioner or doctor if you like. Registering with a local clinic means that you don't have to go to the hospital for every minor issue, which is very handy. However, the con is that it takes ages to see a GP, and even though you register with them, if you have an issue and you want to see a doctor, you have to still book an appointment, and there will be many people on the waiting list, so it may take ages for you to actually see a doctor. So that is one of the cons. Even though the system is well advanced, the waiting period is very long. No one likes to be kept waiting, especially when you want to see a doctor to actually know what is wrong with you if you do not know already. In my own case, I'm still waiting for a referral after 2 months, which is absolutely ridiculous, but that is how the system works. You don't expect it to be perfect, but maybe some things can be done better, and I think the system works better compared to how it works in my country, so maybe I can't really complain. The fifth pro of living in London is the weather. Did I just say pro? The fifth con of living in London is the weather. The weather in London is really bad, and for me, who has lived in Nigeria for almost all of my life, and the weather is mostly sunny and raining. The weather is really bad. I do not like it. They say when you're in Rome, you act like the Romans, I guess, but the weather is not nice. I don't like it. The weather in London is really bad. You can experience 4 different seasons in one whole day, and you're just like, what is going on? But that is how it works. It is not surprising that during the winter, people can be especially cold to you, and I don't blame them. I think it's because of the weather. The weather is so cold that people just are cold to you in return, and the weather is really depressing. So if someone is really cold to you, or they just act like they're depressed or something, don't blame them, blame the weather. The sixth pro of living in London is the beauty of London. London is very beautiful. There's no cap about that. It is not surprising that people go on bus tours during the day and at night just to see the beauty of London. It is truly beautiful. It is truly captivating. Nonetheless, when you're traveling in London as a tourist, or if you're just living in London and still exploring London, make sure that you beware of pickpockets, because that is very common in London. And well, I've experienced it once already, so I know. So yeah, when you're in London visiting, or when you're already in London, living in London and trying to explore London, just beware. Just be conscious of the environment, basically. The next con of living in London is that the environment is really polluted. Once you leave London for another city in the UK, it just feels like you're in a different country entirely. The breath of fresh air that you get just makes you feel like you're in a different country entirely. I feel like I've been going on and on for a bit now, and this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm going to do a part 2, some pros and cons of London, which will be out tomorrow. Thank you for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more videos. See you again next time. Bye.